Check it. You're tuned in to Say What Radio with your hosts, Justin, Taz, and the other guys. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go.
Say What Radio. I'm going to just start with this one and just say the headline, see what you say. Baseball coach is suspended after he forced his players to spit in his face.
He lose damn guy.
A Greek man was convicted of stealing electricity despite being dead. Yes. Convicted him after he died.
So he didn't do it before he died.
Yes.
No, okay. Okay. What is that? The trial is over.
It's me.
Say what? Say what one more goddamn time.
It's Wednesday night.
This whole time.
Thank you for tuning in. Say What Radio is coming at you guys. Got your girl Justice here with the other guys. I'm going to start it to my right this time.
Trey T.
Trey D.
Want to thank everyone for tuning in. It has been a little bit of a while since we've done Say What Radio, so forgive us for that. But if you've been keeping up with us, we've been doing other shows. As many of you have known, we have gone ahead and launched the Cool Black Nerd podcast, which is usually kind of like a bi-weekly show, and it is done with Jules. And sometimes Dre D's drops in and...
Y'all niggas don't let me know when you having the shit. I just jump on the game and y'all recording the damn show.
That was so funny. Oh, we got like two comments on the show about that. They were just like, he didn't just randomly jump in. You guys planted that or you came up with that. I'm like, no, he just popped in.
I wanted to play Destiny and y'all niggas recording the fucking show. Like, what is this?
And the audio engineer Craig just didn't know how to handle it.
Clearly.
But want to thank you guys for tuning in for that. Just keep for a lookout for that on social media when we'll actually be posting. A new episode is actually up right now, Cool Black Nerd Podcast number 5. Also, a new episode of Life is P. Go ahead and check that out. And want to give a congratulations to Phoenix Ash, who is doing big things. And she is now, as you already know, she's a published author, but she is now under contract from a publishing house. So, yay!
Sound bite already.
Because I forgot about it until I said it.
But you like... Carry on this Wednesday.
All right. We'll go ahead and get into the headlines. I hate you. Anyways, so it's been a while. It's been a lot that has actually gone down. I think, like, one of the things that I saw, of course, we had talked about this on Cool Black Nerd Podcast, but wanted to talk about this as well, because we had, in the chat, had been going over this a few times. When the trailer for Aladdin dropped, all of us was like, why are you stealing our childhood?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this?
I still could have did without it, to be honest, but okay.
Have you seen it?
Huh?
Have you seen it?
No.
Okay, I have not seen it.
How was that possible with your daughter?
Well, I also have a younger daughter who would be too loud in the theater.
Fuck them people.
I mean, it's a kids movie. Come on.
Yeah.
What'd you go to a kids movie for if you want?
When I went to go see Brightburn, the theater that was next to us was playing the Aladdin song, so like you could hear a whole new world. Like as we're in the theater watching Brightburn, they're like, "Oh well, we know what scene they're on." A whole new world. I was like, "What is this, man?"
So as they're trying to do like scary exposition,
everybody here, like you could, like the crowd started laughing, and like other people started singing. It's like because you could literally hear it clearly from the other theater. I was like,
too
I thought
funny.
this is supposed to be like soundproof walls or some shit. It's terrible.
Oh man. But Godzilla was actually released on Friday, or was it Thursday?
Yeah, it came out.
Friday?
Yes.
So it actually knocked Aladdin off. Aladdin was number 1 last week.
That's pretty bad.
Godzilla has knocked it off. Well, I think it's going to be like that for the next few weeks or so, because there's like new movies coming out each time.
I guarantee you, it doesn't matter what movie is coming out. When Lion King comes out, it's going to be number 1 for multiple weeks. It's not going to get knocked off by anything.
You think so?
It's not.
Well, I don't know what's coming after it.
Yeah, I guess it kind of would.
It really depends on what's coming after it.
Nothing's going to knock it off.
Yeah, it probably won't. But, I mean, I think we underestimate how strong the Godzilla following is.
Yes.
Because, you know, the original was like in the 70s or whatever. Like,
well, no, they had one a few years ago with Heisenberg. And she didn't make that much money.
Well, I guess everybody thinks this is finally going to be done right. I don't know. But, like, you know, you got that cult following from, like, old folks to young folks.
How much was it?
Aladdin is just our age and knowing
How much was it?
Why does that matter?
I'm trying to see how far Aladdin fell down.
So Aladdin made $42 million.
See, that's terrible.
And Godzilla made 49.
Yeah, that's...
It brought Aladdin's global total to 120.
Yeah, that cannot be what Disney wanted. After a week, only 120? Shit.
Weekend.
No, but Aladdin's been out since last week.
I know that, but I'm just saying the weekend total is 120.
Oh, the weekend total. Okay. I was going to say... that was
global weekend. U.S. it was 42, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, global weekend.
That sounds a bit better.
Yeah.
I was going to say Mickey Mouse was going to start rolling. Some heads going to start rolling if it was only 100.
Well, I mean, heads should have rolled for Dumbo. That was a live action movie that didn't need to.
Dumbo should not have been made.
Yeah,
no, that was should not have been made.
Even to this day, like, I don't even know what the plot of Dumbo is. Like, I just know it's an elephant with big ears.
Yeah, nobody cares about a talking elephant.
What is it about? Like, I've never sat and watched Dumbo.
Does he talk?
Not in this movie. In the live action, of course not, but in the original movie, yes.
Okay, so you're telling me a movie that people didn't half care about, you remade it and took away him talking.
Yeah, that's what, it was really bad. It was really bad.
You somehow thought that would be good.
Yeah, it was very bad.
Yeah.
But, okay, so what's coming up for 2019, we've got Far From Home, Spider-Man. You have Toy Story 4, Men in Black International, Hobbs and Shaw, and like you said, The Lion King. So, I don't know. I really don't.
The only one I would say would be probably Toy Story 4.
But I really don't know if any of this is going to be able, like you said, I think it's still, each one is going to knock each one off.
Nah, I will put money on it that Lion King will be number one for a few weeks.
Wait, when did you say Toy Story 4 comes out?
Toy Story 4, June 20th.
Okay. And Lion King is when?
It's middle of May, right? Oh, not middle of May.
July 19th.
July
19th. Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. After that, it's not very many. Yeah. It's not much after Lion King.
Now, if those two are coming out back-to-back weeks, one would knock the other one off.
That's what I'm saying. The Toy Story 4 would be the only one I'd be concerned.
That's the only one, yeah.
And it could go either way. Like, whoever comes first is going to get knocked off. It don't even matter which one comes first at that point.
Yeah, because there's really nothing that's going to compete with it. I mean, you have Dark Phoenix actually coming up similar.
The reason I say that is because not just because of the nostalgia behind Lion King, but you're going to have that whole Black Panther following watching the Lion King as well. That's what that's what Disney is hoping for. That's why they came out with it like this.
I didn't even think about it like that, but you're right.
Yeah, you will have that. I guarantee you that's what Disney is banking on. If they can pull in that Black Panther crowd.
Yeah. I can't see anything else actually coming out after that. Mostly the summer will be over by the time it actually comes out. Mm-hmm. And at that point, people are home. They're not actually traveling like they were in the earlier part. And it's after 4th of July. I think everyone kind of knows it, like you were saying before, that once Lion King comes out, it may have like a big drawing. As long as they're not going up against something like Star Wars. That's Christmas, right?
That's Christmas.
So yeah, no.
But yeah, that's Disney as well. They would never do that. They wouldn't do Lion King and Star Wars next to each other. They're gonna
should have done it for that Solo movie. That shit bombed so hard.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a lot of movies coming out that I'm looking to see. Did you like Brightburn?
Yeah. That was good. I like what they're setting it up to be.
Yeah, I liked it because I've always loved the Injustice storyline. And if anyone knows, Injustice is a video game that actually started out on, I believe, a console and PC, and then they moved it to a comic book. And it is basically where, what if Superman was pushed to the point of no longer wanting to do this? And in that storyline, if I'm not mistaken, the Joker kills Lois in front of him when Lois was pregnant.
Well, no, he made Superman kill Lois.
Or something, yeah.
Yes.
And then he kills the Joker, and after that, he wants to make like a totalitarian type society to keep this type of stuff happening because he has the power to, and he enlists the Justice League to do this. Batman doesn't want to do it, so then it's like a sort of Civil War type thing.
But Brightburn is different because there is no good whatsoever. Because even in Injustice, Superman thinks he's doing good. He thinks he's
I believe it in Brightburn he does too.
No, he doesn't.
Well, like I said, I believe he feels like he's doing good as well.
He does not. His exact words would take the world.
But he is a kid.
No,
and something
he's
is
an alien. That. He's not a kid.
But the reason why I think that he feels like he is doing some sort of good because he is destined to, in the beginning, he still wanted to make his mom and dad proud.
He tortured people.
He was curious.
No, he was torturing people.
He wanted to know what that lady insides looked like. What's wrong with that?
It's different when you have the power to kill someone. You're like, do what I say or I'll kill you. And then they don't do it. And then you just immediately kill them. But when you know you have the power to do that and you're like, You know what? I'm not even going to tell you to do what I say. I'm just going to slowly torture you until I feel like it's time for you to die.
Only thing I do not like about Brightburn is the stupidity of the people there. You find a baby, an alien baby, in the middle of the woods and you take him home and never go, like, what could happen one day?
Well, I mean, I haven't seen it, but, I mean, hopefully this wouldn't be a spoiler, but I'm going to ask.
Yes, they're white.
Did they know? Well, yeah. I guess that.
We know.
Did they
Black
know it was an
people
alien when they
Yes.
saw it?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Or did it look like a regular baby and they're like, oh, I'll just take this
It
baby home?
Well, they
crashed
took it out of
landed.
the spaceship.
Yeah.
They took it out
Oh,
of the
okay,
spaceship
well, yeah.
and landed in the ground.
That's
They knew it
a
wasn't
major clue.
Yeah.
Yeah. They knew he wasn't human. They knew that for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was just the stupidity and it kind of just, made me mad. But I just thought those were good. Also, Detective Pikachu, if anybody hasn't seen it, that is a very cute
I
fucking
told you you
movie.
were going to go see it.
Mikey wanted to see it.
Stop lying.
No,
You
Mikey
wanted to
wanted,
see
that
it
was
for
what he
Ryan
wanted to
Reynolds.
do on his, I didn't know he was in it.
Yeah, you did.
No.
How did you not know?
I knew his voice was in it, but that's a spoiler. I mean, not just that. But I didn't know that he was a part of it. So, but I liked it. It was very cute.
Whatever.
Very cute. We're going to move on. So, some of the things, moving on to things that we're watching on TV and movies and things like that. So, Netflix has been actually dropping some very good content lately. I will have to say, I've been very...
You've been doing that for a while now.
Yeah, but I've been, I guess, every week there's something different. I'm like, oh shit, I got to watch this. Whereas before it was...
Definitely turning them out more.
it's a lot more. So
I think it's more so that it's less stuff on other cable channels or whatever now that you've already seen. Now you're like, oh yeah, I have Prime. Let me see what's on. Or I have Netflix. Let me see what's on Netflix now.
I remember the Netflix original section when I used to go to it a few years
It was like
ago.
4.
It's like 6 shows.
Yeah.
Now it's like everything is pretty much Netflix. It's very few things that are coming from other places.
Yeah.
And I be telling you half the time, this is on Prime. And you like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's only a few shows that I actually even watch on Prime.
They all have, like, I'm not going to, Prime, Hulu, and Netflix, they all have really good original stuff.
Yeah.
now.
But one show on Netflix is actually causing issues with some of the viewers. The movie Perfection is actually causing a lot of viewers to vomit. Like, and it's been reported that, if I'm not mistaken, there's also before there wasn't, but there's some sort of disclaimer with before you watch it now that it may cause, people with weak institutions to be a little sickly.
I mean, is it like...
It's a fucked up scene. It is a fucked up scene, but it's nothing that you haven't seen before, but to some people it's just a lot.
Did they
This
make
is
it through
2000. Yeah, I mean, this is 2019. I mean,
Yeah.
Are you surprised to see it?
But sometimes they insinuate certain things, but you don't actually see it. Is it that you're seeing full on?
The movie is sort of like a psychological thriller, but it also has body horror in it.
Unless they implemented 2 girls in a cup, I don't think it's going to make me vomit. It's about the only thing that'll probably make me vomit, seeing that I can think of, because I don't want to think of anything worse. So I would say in 2019, people are a lot more sensitive.
You gotta watch it. I can't tell you.
So it is 2 girls in a cup?
I didn't say anything. I'm not telling you anything.
No.
I'm just saying that there is a couple of scenes in there that have caused people to lose their lunch, basically.
I'm a pass.
But I will say it is a very good movie. It is just, oh god.
It's a movie. Not
It's a movie. Yeah, it's a movie.
Yeah, I'm not watching it.
Yeah. But like I said, there's a disclaimer when you go to watch it now. When I first watched it, that disclaimer wasn't there. It is there now. So, moving on.
You're still on Netflix, shit.
Yeah. What was
Is
the
it
one
the
that you
one
were
we were talking about?
Yes. Damn it.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I thought you were going to lead into it, but yeah, it's the When They See Us. It's the miniseries that they introduced on Netflix this past weekend, which details the infamous Central Park jogger case back in 1989 that happened in New York, where you had the 5 young boys from ages 14 to 16 years old, who were convicted of viciously raping and beating this white woman in the park. It's a known case because the boys had always held up their innocence. They always admitted it. They never said that they did it, and there was never any evidence that proved that they did it. All they had were these confession tapes. That's what the whole prosecution's case was built on. Just these confession tapes, which clearly showed that the kids were like coerced into giving these confessions, and they like the prosecution would promise them, "Hey, you get to go home if you just give us what we want," type thing. And you had these kids believing that because they're children. They were
right, they're kids.
Of course, you had some adults, some of the kids' parents, which they were ignorant and advised their kids to do the wrong thing, thinking that you're black, you're in an institution, you're dealing with the cops, just do what they say.
Mm.
And that got them into a lot of trouble. They all got convicted. One kid who actually wasn't even at the park, because all the kids were at the park except for one of them. They were at the park, but they had nothing to do with that lady that got beaten and raped or whatnot. They were just there doing other stuff.
Being kids.
Yeah, and there was 4 of them that were there, but there was 5 that was convicted because there was a 5th one who was just a good friend of one of the 4 kids. He felt like he was the older one, and he felt like he needed to protect him. So when the cops came asking for this particular kid, he wanted to go down there with his friend, like, as for support.
Yeah.
And because the cops were trying to manipulate the whole situation, they used him in order to get all 4 of them pretty much in trouble.
Because pretty much the stories that the 4 had gave, I mean, they pretty much coerced them into saying what they wanted to say. Mm-hmm. But there were still little pieces of what they said that didn't add up because obviously it was made up story.
Made up story, yeah.
So then they were like, well, we can't use all of this evidence because then it's contradicting itself. Mm. So we got to find something to kind of tie this all together. So they came up with a new storyline, and they needed somebody to say that storyline. Mm-hmm. And he happened to be sitting in the front. They're like, we still got that other guy here, right? Just bring him back.
Yeah.
That was it.
He wasn't there at all. He was just there to support his friend.
Yeah,
he didn't want him to go down
sitting
to
up
the
front
police
waiting
station by himself.
Like, hey, I'm just going to sit here until y'all send him home and we'll walk home together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he ended up getting it the worst because he was over the minor. Right. He was over the age of being a minor, so they sent him to adult prison where the other ones got juvenile and whatnot.
At 16.
Yeah.
That's messed up in itself. I mean, you 16 years old going to an adult prison for anything, but then you got sex offender on your label too.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Nothing you could do. He couldn't really read. That was the other thing. They tried to make him read his statement at the at the trial. And he was like, I can't read this. I don't know what this is. So I showed him write it. Yeah, that's what he's like. I didn't write it. You wrote it. He was like, but isn't this your signature? It's like, you told me to sign it.
Yeah.
He didn't know any better.
And that's another thing that pissed me off, that trial. Because so much stuff that came up in the trial, anybody with common sense could look at it and say, okay, this shit don't add up. Yeah. Nah, we can't convict these kids. These are kids and the stories don't add up. Nah.
Yeah.
But nah, they convicted them anyway. And it's like, I knew the outcome. Like, I knew they were going to jail because I know the story. But watching it, I'm like, okay, clearly at this point, you're going to let them off, right? No.
It's because we have a justice system that doesn't care about who's right or wrong. It just matters about who can win a case. It doesn't matter if the person is right or wrong.
I mean, they presented DNA evidence too. I mean, DNA evidence. Actually, the prosecution hid the evidence because they realized it didn't match.
Yeah.
And then somebody slipped up on the stand and said, no, we only tested, the DNA in the sock. And the lawyer was like, hold on, DNA in the sock?
Yeah.
What you talking about? So he came up and was like, yeah, we tested DNA.
It didn't match.
It was like, oh, was it a match? No, it wasn't a match.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Prosecution didn't even mention this because they knew it was going to kill their case. It accidentally came up. You think it would kill their case, right?
Nope. Now, all they used were those tapes, the confession tapes. That's the only thing that they had. And what makes it even worse is after everything was over, the kids got out. The kids did get out. They eventually got out. What made it even worse?
Yeah, like 12 or 13, something like that.
13 for Corey. The other ones got out after 7 years, but they were still on probation and all this other stuff. But Corey was in prison the entire time, the whole 13 years. But what makes it even worse is people like the prosecutor and like the cops and all this, their story now is that, the person who actually did it came out and confessed to it. That doesn't mean that the other kids weren't there.
Yeah.
This is just the 6th person that got away.
And that's just them being stubborn because they
know what they do.
They invested so much into this narrative and they don't want to admit that they're wrong.
Even though
it's like, oh, wait, somebody else did it? Oh, well, that means that somebody else was working with these kids.
Yeah.
They don't even know this person.
The kids who have no evidence that they were there where that woman was at any time, but they're sitting there saying that, I think it was the prosecutor was like, that just means that the other kids left and he just continued on with the assault. Oh. But all of the evidence, the DNA that's on her shirt, the blood and all this, all matched just that kid. Nobody else. Just him. But apparently, somehow 5, 6 people were able to beat up a woman and not leave any evidence. Right. Beat up and rape a woman and not leave any evidence.
And then plus, since they care so much about confessions, I mean, look at his confession. He said, I did it. Y'all got the wrong kids locked up. I take responsibility. I don't even know them kids. They weren't there. They had nothing to do with it. It was me by myself.
Yeah.
If you care so much about confessions, why y'all ain't taking his confession serious?
Yeah.
And it was really kind of heartbreaking how their exoneration, came about. So the guy who did it was in jail, and Corey.
Yeah.
He saw Corey in jail, which had been there for the longest. He had met him once when they first got in, and then they got transferred or whatnot, and he met him 10 or 12 years later or something like that. Mm-hmm. And he's like, damn, you still here? You still in here for something I did? And the guy was like, what the hell? And then he went and confessed. That was just like, wow. Yeah. Seriously, it took that.
He was already a convicted murderer.
Yeah.
Anyway, he had life. So.
But it took that before anybody wanted to even look into this case or believe it. Because I know that, of course, the lawyers and everything have been doing things, Innocence Project and all the rest of that. But it took just this guy going like, damn, I did this and you still here.
Yeah. And I don't know if, obviously they do dramatization on the shows or whatnot. I don't know if the stuff that was said in the show is how accurate it is, but it was pretty powerful when Corey, when he was talking to the guard and he was trying to get the transfers, and he still had hope that, because he was trying to get closer to his mom, because his mom wasn't able to constantly come see him. And one thing that stuck out was, he was asking for a transfer. The guard was like, you don't want to do that because it doesn't mean you may get put further away. Yeah. You don't know where they're going to send you, but he felt like all of his bad luck had ran out. He's dealt with enough bad luck. And it turns out that him being in that prison, the Attica prison, that was his good luck. Because he ran
to that guy again.
Yeah, it was his good luck.
Yeah.
And so he did, not luck, blessed. But he
ended up further away. But he ended up running into the one person that gets exonerated.
Yeah. So his bad luck, he was right. His bad luck did run out. It just didn't happen in the way that he thought it would happen.
Yeah. And they got $41 million from the state of New York once this is all said and done. And
they got $1 million for each year they were in prison.
But I believe you said that
they're trying to sue for another 52.
Okay. Yeah, there's a pending lawsuit.
Because their original lawsuit, they wanted $150 million is what they were asking for. But the state ended up only giving them $1 million for each year they were in, which it's nothing in New York. It's nothing.
I mean, you think about how it ruined their lives. I mean, it's not even just the time that you lost in prison, but when you get out. I mean, it's not just that, but when you get out, what are you going to do? You can't get your life back.
And that's what I was.
No
the
parts.
other thing, no parts. But the main thing that I was pissed about, forget the money. The people that put them there, nothing happened still.
Right.
All that shit that they did, nothing happened still.
And then when you think about it, the fact that they were able to get away with that and they still don't have any remorse for it, how many other people you think they did that to?
Oh, yeah.
There's probably prisons all across the country full of people
innocent people
in the same exact situation. Yeah. Some prosecutors just like, you know what? He looked like he's guilty. I'm going to stick with this. Even though the evidence don't fit, we're going to make this story fit, and he's going to go. We got to put this on somebody.
Yeah, it's easier for them to create a suspect as opposed to finding the actual perpetrator.
Yep.
It goes to the point of a lot of people who are like, well, we need to get rid of the death penalty because there's a lot of people, especially in the state of Texas, that have died and they found out later that they were innocent. So,
I mean, it takes 30 years to kill someone anyway, so you can leave the death penalty there and you got plenty of damn time. You can literally keep appealing until you just die naturally. We have people on death row for an eternity. It's insane.
I didn't realize, looking at some of how they do the injections and stuff, it costs more to do the injections than it does to keep them in prison. Plus, no doctor will back doing these, so they're being done by just regular people. So a lot of times it fucks up.
Yeah, because a doctor can't do it.
Yeah, a doctor can't do that. They've already said we can't do that. And the drugs that they used to use, which would probably be more effective, they no longer make or allow in the U.S. So what they're doing now is putting two drugs together to be able to, what they feel like is the same effect, but it's not doing that. So it's supposed to put the person in a sleep state and then stop their heart in cardiac arrest type thing. But what it's doing, it does not put them under. They literally are just, they're just paralyzed.
But they're still
they can think, they can think and everything, just literally just suffocate like that.
How do they test this?
They can't. That's the problem.
I never did understand it. Because when they say that, it'll be painless as possible. Who did you test it on?
It's not.
And it was
and the doctors,
it didn't hurt at all. Who did you test?
Yeah, when I died last week, that was the most painless than I've ever had. Out of all the times I've died, this was the smoothest.
Yeah, I don't understand. What kind of research could you do on it? There's no way you could test that.
And the doctors who have said, I'm not being a part of this, they've put out many, studies and all kind of stuff saying, no, this does not work like you think it is. You are torturing these people. They are still going well, what are we supposed to do? The other ones, the thing doesn't actually paralyze the people. So, because it's different for every person. Mm-hmm. So it just basically puts him in the cardiac arrest and they start flailing around like a fish. And other people see that. Or it doesn't actually kill them and they try to do it another time. It's like, what the hell?
No, once I ain't died, no.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm about to say, man. No, you failed. All right.
I served my sentence, obviously.
I mean, but at that point you say, okay, you're sentenced to death. If you die and then come back, why is it just done?
Yeah. That's why I never did understand.
Like, you didn't sentence me to 2 days.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, come on.
Unless you got, like, death penalty for 2 separate murders or something.
Yeah, well, it's
all right, first one failed, but then
first one failed,
you
you
ass back down. Yeah.
I lay back down. Damn it.
But in instances or hearing things like that, it's hard for me to kind of be for the death penalty, but in an instance like this, I am just like, somebody put his ass underwater and hold him like they did in glass and just let him die.
Yeah.
For Malia Davis.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody just waterboard his ass until he can't no more. It'll be an accident if he died and they're waterboarding. I'm sorry. This went on for how many weeks?
A month.
Yeah, something like that.
A month.
Yeah.
And his ass was able to go home every day on the news talking about, oh, I miss my daughter.
Oh, no, you've been in prison for jail for
a couple
2
of weeks.
Yeah.
You talking about the mama?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I think something might have happened to her, too.
Exactly, yeah. There's more to that story.
Because he was already under investigation for molesting the child. Then, okay, they couldn't prove that. Let the child go back. But she didn't want to be with the man anyway. But you left your child with him for several days.
That just sounds too fishy.
Yeah. And the day you come back is the day that your child gonna miss.
Yep.
So there's a few different things that make me suspicious of her. But this is one in particular that I focused on. So when the guy went to jail, they locked him up for tampering with evidence or whatever. Because they couldn't pin the murder on him yet.
Right, yeah.
So he went in for that. They had like $1 million bond or something like that. A week later, they dropped his bond randomly to like $40,000 or something way cheaper.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So why did they drop his bond? Maybe he told them something that would incriminate the woman, or something that would help the case, right? Right after that, she starts taking back everything she said bad about him. She's like, "Oh no, he never harassed the girl. He never molested."
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, so she's trying to cover for him because she knows he's talking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she knows if he goes down, he done told some stuff that's going to bring her down too.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, she's backtracking on everything she's saying. Oh no, he never touched her. He never did this. And then Quanell's like, wait a minute, you told me that.
Quanell said, let me get up out of here.
Yeah,
exactly.
Quanell
So
need to change his hat piece.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
On arrival.
So yeah, she's definitely scared. She knows that something is going to come down on her. I'm just
It
waiting
has
for
to.
it to
There's
happen.
no way she didn't know anything about this. There's no way. But to see that little, those pictures are just horrifying to see now. Just, she looks so happy, but God knows what was going on in her life. Mm-hmm. And everyone around her that was supposed to protect her just absolutely failed her.
She had some type of condition, right?
Yeah. I forgot what they said it was.
But another thing that made me mad was the dad, like the biological dad.
Mm-hmm.
They said the day before she was reported missing or whatever, he went over to see her. And, of course, the mama's gone. She didn't call the flight wherever she was going. Mm-hmm. The kid's at home with the stepdad. That's it. So the dad goes over, him and his sister go over to see the baby. And the stepdad's like, nah, you can't see her because she's got the flu. If I'm coming over to see my kid, you're not going to tell me she got the flu so I can't see her. Yeah, I don't give a damn. I'm her dad.
What kind of arrangement do they have?
Yeah, because
that's
Jane dad, he come out.
Like I don't care if she got the flu. I appreciate you trying to look out for me.
Too.
Like I appreciate you trying to keep me from getting sick, but that's my kid. Yeah. I'm going in there.
Somebody got sick time. What's the problem?
So you can be around my sick kid, but I can't be around my sick kid.
Right.
Open this damn door.
Yeah, I
don't know. Was he a felon?
Who
the dad? I don't know because I'm trying to why she couldn't go to her dad's house.
Mm-hmm. Like, unless he's a felon, that's the only thing I can think of.
But they might not have that kind of relationship. Maybe they just have.
Nah, it don't matter, man. Because if he's wanting to see her,
over to the house,
if he going to the house, yeah,
it's got to be better than most.
And that's why I'm thinking that maybe he's a felon. Like,
he can't. Maybe.
Nah, it's got to be something.
But even then, like at that point, it's gonna be an altercation. like, I'm getting in that house, but you want to at least bring my kid to the door to let me know she's all right.
Yes.
Like something, okay? Maybe I don't get to go all through your house, but you want to at least bring her to the door so I can peep in.
Exactly.
Bring her to the porch.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, because if he is a felon and there is an altercation,
Then he going,
Like, nah, you gonna bring her to this porch, or I'm calling the cops right now. One way or another, she gonna end up on this porch talking to me.
Yeah,
it's all weird.
I mean, it's not just regular people that need to be put under the jail. I mean, folks who don't know the difference between Oreos and, actual
Oreos.
Well, he does now, though. Did you see the second? No, not the tweet. Like, he had another, I don't know if it was a hearing or a conference or something like that, where all of a sudden, like, 2 days later, he became like this super expert on Oreos. Like, he left that other conference and just read up everything that he could.
You couldn't do that before you got down?
He been in this role for how many years?
But, okay, let's explain what actually happened.
Black Klansmen, we say aura.
Yeah.
So he was saying aura-eo.
Okay, let's explain it. So, Secretary Ben Carson, he's what, over HUD?
Yep.
Okay, HUD, the Housing and Urban Development Secretary. He was, what was this for?
I think it was a hearing on why there's so many more Oreos lately, or something like that. Like, banks are seizing more properties now than they used to, or something like that.
Okay. So he was testifying before the House, and she goes, I'd like you to get back to me, if you don't mind, to explain the disparity in REO rates. Do you know what an REO is? An Oreo?
An Oreo?
No, not an Oreo. Yeah. An REO. REO. Real estate. And the lady goes, what does the O stand for? Organization owned. Real estate owned. That's what happened when a property goes into foreclosure. We call it REO. I can see the look on his face when she explained everything. He was like,
for
I guess they should have told me about that.
Who haven't heard Ben Carson,
he sounds just like that.
The way she's talking like that, because he talks exactly like the sloth from Zootopia.
His facial expressions and everything,
which is insane because he's also supposedly one of like the most brilliant brain surgeons like ever.
He had to do it on
weird. It's weird because like I remember. Yeah. But
book knowledge.
Well,
totally different.
Well, it's also different domains too.
Yeah.
You know about surgery, but you don't know shit about houses.
Yes. Like, you would also want him to go and take his time and, messing around in people's brains. So you gotta be a little slower.
But it's not just the slowness. Like, he doesn't talk like he's brilliant at the same. Cause when they there was a guy that introduced him like that. Like, he was introducing Ben Carson as like one of the most brilliant brain surgeons that you could has ever lived. And then he was like, all right, I'll let him go ahead and speak. And he was like, I was like, he does not talk like someone that you would think is like a brilliant person. And it's like, you go with this big ass introduction, and then you earn your way through the damn conversation.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Barack does a lot of too.
But it's in it. But he's still articulate.
Yeah,
like,
sure. But I just didn't want you to be like, was the reason.
Yeah, he's saying to make sure that the way he says it is perfect.
Yeah. I get that, but I just didn't want people to be going like, you just mean No.
Ben Carson is like, and then he'll say something that's like, really took
like
you all the time to think of that.
I like Cheetos.
Man, we're not talking about Oreos. You eat Oreo. Come on now.
Let's talk about the disparity in Oreo rates. Yeah, nigga. We talking about
Oreo.
We talking about the price of Oreos at the supermarket.
Yeah,
that's what we talking about.
You put those two, like, even if Barack didn't know what an Oreo is, he wouldn't have said Oreo. He would have been like, "Do you know what an Oreo is?"
Could you clarify?
Repeat what you just said. Like,
clarify your statement.
He wouldn't have Oreo.
But the fact that you are over this. This is something you should know. Even if it was on a sticky note on your
desk. But you know he's only over HUD because that's the only black person that Trump could get. Yeah. That's the only black person he could get. And you need a black person over the urban development.
He had Omarosa.
No.
They said she didn't even do nothing in the White House.
Yeah.
They said she was just roaming around the White House looking like she was doing stuff.
I don't think anybody in there bitch is doing anything. I think they in there playing Clue all day.
Not Clue.
Yeah.
Trying to figure shit out. But his boss is doing no better in just putting tariffs on everything and everyone. So now he's kicked off a trade war with China, which is pretty much half the shit or 80% of the shit that comes to the U.S. And then he wants to go and start saying Mexico, anything that comes into Mexico will be tariffed as well because they are taking from us and not giving. Bitch, have you ever had guacamole?
I hate you.
Mexico is taking from us and not giving?
Yeah.
What they're taking?
That's what I can't understand.
Oh, our jobs, remember?
Because we don't want them.
I agree.
They take the jobs that
You make this pool of jobs and there's a huge vacancy of them because at this point in time, like you say, nobody wants them. These people come here. They're looking for a better life. They are contributing to our society.
Excuse my language.
Has anybody seen a Mexican homeless person?
No.
I haven't seen a Mexican homeless person, a Mexican Asian person, a Mexican. I saw one Indian lady.
You say a Mexican Asian person?
Homeless Mexican or homeless Asian. But I've seen one homeless Indian lady, and I only think that she was like, I think she was fake.
She was scared.
Yeah.
She was scared.
I was scared. I think she was scared because I swear to God, when I saw, I was like, "What the fuck?"
Because I mean, you don't have them because they work for damn near everything that they get.
Yeah, very hardworking and take pride in what they do.
Yeah.
The thing that's killing me. And when I saw that before, and it kind of like correlated together with the whole abortion thing. This lady, I saw it on Instagram. This lady was like, they don't want you to kill the babies because there is a disparaging birth rate drop for white Americans, but they also don't want to take care of the kids that are here. The people who are actually having the babies, they're like, okay, well, we're not taking care of it as long as it's a white baby. I want you to keep that baby. What the hell?
White people don't have sex, right?
Don't have sex, right?
They don't have sex.
I don't even know what the fuck that's supposed to mean.
That's why I think percentage is dropping. I don't know.
They don't have sex, right?
My thing is, I'm waiting for Trump to put tariffs on Taiwan. Because when you think about it, all the products that we get, made in China, made in Mexico, or made in Taiwan, they the only ones left. He gonna tariff them, and then all that shit gonna be expensive as hell.
Let me tell you, T, this is gonna be Trump. Taiwan isn't in China?
Yeah. That's probably why he hasn't done it. He thinks he already did.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I already put tariffs
all the
on
Chinese.
Taiwan.
All the Chinese. No.
Taiwan can't do anything.
There was something, oh my God, when he said, I do not believe that the courts would impeach me, and people were like, that ain't even who does it.
Yeah.
Hey, but are you surprised? This is the same guy that put Ben Carson over HUD, who thought Oreo was an Oreo.
He also is the same person who said he got himself elected.
Yeah.
There was somebody, and
he
there
elected
was,
himself.
I forgot who it was. Damn it, where is it? It was an agency that actually had put out, they were like, the president doesn't actually understand the policies in
Trump. Don't say the president. Trump.
Well, no, this was their statement that they actually put out. They were like, the president doesn't understand the policies and procedures of what is actually going on. We can't go to him for the things that we need. I forgot what specific, I was trying to find it, but it was just like baffling to me. How is this still a thing? And most likely he's going to win again. It's like, what the hell?
We're living in idiocracy.
Canada is.
I would actually work for that. I would not be that mad at idiocracy at this point. I mean, Terry Crews don't seem that bad. I'm just saying.
You said Terry Crews?
You never seen Idiocracy? He was the president.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was a former wrestler, porn star. I forgot what else it was.
What?
Yeah.
There's a wrestler.
If you watch the movie, you understand. It is the dumbest shit ever, but...
Yeah, it's like some future dystopian type movie, but like everybody's dumb. Like we've devolved to a point where like nobody's intelligent.
So when they
got like this president, and they're like, yeah, duh, I guess you have him as president. Like, it's like that's the society that they're living in.
Nigga, who taught you octagon and shit?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So one guy, he had somehow or another been frozen, or I forgot what it was, but he wakes up all these years in the future, and he still has common sense like a regular person nowadays. So when he says stuff to certain people, they're just like, oh my God, you're so smart, you're a genius. So, they were having an issue of people not being able to live crossing streets or some shit like that. I forgot what it was. And he was just like, why don't you just put like a lighters? I forgot what it was specifically. And they were just like, oh my God, you're in charge of... Fuck, I forgot what that was.
So it's the Steve Harvey show.
What do you mean?
Where he just says like the most basic shit and the crowd just goes wild for no reason.
I hate you.
What you gotta do
it's his
is
show.
You gotta have love in your relationship. Oh!
You're a genius.
Yeah, it's like, what?
I hate you.
The dumbest shit ever. I hate that shit.
No, the dumbest shit ever is a man who actually reported that someone broke into his home to clean it.
I don't know. I would probably report that too.
I would.
That would be a little.
You'd be like, I'm going to leave a tip next time.
As long as nothing's stolen.
Nah, because they're going to think you owe them something.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, wait a minute. How are you getting into my house, first of all? Yeah,
They broke in.
You cleaned it this time, but next time, what you going to be breaking in for?
You go clean it
But
for
I
real.
mean, they even took the time. They even took the time to do the alarm. To do the little origami on the toilet paper. No,
on the toilet.
You know how they...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the guy that used to break in to suck toes. Now he's upgraded to cleaning houses now.
Nah, he in jail.
How long do you get for sucking a random toe?
Yeah, I don't know what section of the penal code that covers that.
How long is Aunt Becky getting for that college case? Like 30 years or some shit like that?
Really?
Yeah, she's up against... It's like a lot of time.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
It'll be like up to 30 years. She'll probably get some bullshit ass probation.
30 days.
Yeah. 30-year probation. What the fuck is this?
But you can go anywhere you want to.
Yeah.
We're just going to put a probation label on you.
If you commit another crime, then all of those crimes will come back. Yeah. It's like, what?
We're going to move on to our favorite state. What the Florida. So...
Wait, so that wasn't Florida where the person broke in?
What was that? South Carolina?
Massachusetts.
Oh, the Bostonians.
Massachusetts.
State nobody can spell.
This man actually called 911 to brag about fleeing a traffic stop, stating, "What do we pay you guys for?"
Wow. You pay us for tracing calls, like we're doing right now.
Okay, so it goes, he was in a traffic stop, and as the deputy was actually pulled up, because I believe there's like sheriffs or whatever instead of city cops, but they were coming up. He did a donut, took off, and the guy didn't chase after him. So later, he calls 911. I want to know, I ran from a cop 30 minutes to an hour ago. It was off Kings Estate. What do we pay you guys for? I've driven past 4 cops. And the dispatcher's like, what do you mean you ran from a cop? He turned on his lights, he got behind me, and he was walking onto my car. I did a donut and left him. Okay, you want to see the officer now? I'm not, what is your question? My question is, I'm assuming he put out an APB out, or that someone's looking for my car.
Nobody cares about you.
Or that somebody's looking at my car. He definitely got my plate number, but I passed 4 cops driving around. What are you guys doing? We're working on many calls, sir. Of course, they tracked him down during that call.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Wait, so he did donuts?
He did a turnaround.
Yeah.
So you just a U-turn?
Yeah,
okay.
Basically.
Because I'm just picturing him pulling off, just doing donuts in the street, cop just standing there looking at him this dumbass.
Oh my goodness.
County deputies say
shit. I hate when that happens. Oh, you like that?
No. Nope.
A Florida woman is accused of assaulting a Burger King manager after being denied free fries.
Was she entitled to?
That's a woman?
Yeah, why should you get free fries?
They say that's a woman.
It's mad.
Say sir one more time, motherfucker.
Natasha Badgley, a 26-year-old.
26. I know you lying.
Oh,
You stupid.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
If she's 42, y'all, she played too
He's
much.
42.
Oh my
That wig might be 26.
Okay.
Oh man. But yeah, they wanted free fries.
Were they entitled to the free fries?
No. Of course not.
So why did they want random free fries? That's what I'm trying to get to.
This is Florida. You really want to know this?
So you just went up there and asked for free fries?
Why not a free burger too while you're at it?
Yeah. I'm trying to think, did they buy a meal and they didn't get the fries? I'm confused at what's happening here.
They went through the drive-thru and was like, we want free fries. That's it. There was no... I found a thing in my sandwich or something. Nothing.
That's clearly a thing. It's
Did they walk through the drive-thru too? Because that would top this all off.
They rode Gator back. They just riding on the Gator.
Just riding on the Gator. Oh man, those are your headlines for what we've been missing. And there's of course a lot more, but this is stuff that just stuck out recently that is just insane. Why?
Insane in the brain.
Now, the both of y'all just gonna sing?
yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
Proud you didn't jump in.
As always, please continue to follow us on social media. Say What Radio for all platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that jazz. Again, thank you for tuning in. As always, the biggest compliment you guys can give us is to really, really, really share, like, subscribe, review the show on iTunes, Google Play, thumbs up on Facebook, everything. Tell your family, friends about the show. We may not be everybody's cup of tea, but hey, let them listen and we can come to an agreement. You know, you like this, don't like this, but that was funny. Yes, it was. Thank you for tuning in. Catch us next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
I'm dying in this fucking fucked up town. Shit flying in my mouth. Let's get the fuck out of this country, mother. The fuck is that?
Say what again?